Hello everyone, I'm Saurabh Srivastava here. Today I'm going to read from chapter 4 of The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy, Momentum. I would like to introduce you to a very good friend of mine. This friend also close to Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Richard Branson. So what author is saying is momentum is the friend of everyone, every overachiever, every high achievers, and that's what the big mo. If it comes in your life, then it changes everything. And for that, what exactly you have to do, that's what we are talking about in this chapter, harnessing the power of big mo. So how do we do that? Have you gone with the a good example is merry-go-round. When you are little and you are pushing that merry-go-round to just go around and run faster, starting it takes a lot of inertia to get into motion, but after that you enjoy the beauty around it. So that's what is momentum, and how to achieve that, how to achieve it quick, not quick, but with routine, and how to do that. That's what is important. How do you get big mo to pay you a visit? You build up to it. You get into groove, the zone, by doing the things we have covered so far, making new choices based on your goals and core values, putting those choices to work through new positive behaviors, repeating those healthy actions long enough to establish new habit, building routines and rhythms into your daily discipline, staying consistent over a long period of time. Then bang, big mo kicks in your door. That's good thing, and you are virtually unstoppable. So the overall point is that building that habit, how to align your goals and your behavior with your core values, and then keep repeating it so much that you ultimately end up getting a visit from big mo. And that is, and he talks about Michael Phelps example there. And so in 18 years of his training, one day, only one time, Bowman allowed him to finish a training session 15 minutes early so he could get ready for a middle school dance. That's one time in 12 years. No wonder Phelps was so unbeatable in pool. So that's what then he talks about the story about Apple, how Apple, a company, how Apple launched iPod, and how he ultimately ended up covering everything, sharing the most of the market, and likewise YouTube and other things. So this all is power of big mo. So routine power. Here he talks about that how important it is to create a routine that doesn't fail you. Some of the best intentions fail because we don't have a system of execution. The greater the challenge, the more rigorous our routine needs to be. So are we going to the seemingly simplistic routines built and developed over during basic trainings are so exact that soft, fearful, solventless teenagers are transformed into lean, confident, mission-driven soldiers in only 8 to 12 weeks. Here he talks about the training that soldiers go through in training camps. So how important it is, the routine. And he talks about the example of golfer Jack Nicklaus, who did the routine before hitting the golf ball, and how that routine was exactly within 1 second for each and every hit that he took. And that's so important, that routine. You master a routine that is so consistent that you can achieve it, you can do it very easily, and you can come into the groove where you have to be in your peak performance. And that's what overall, of all the high achievers and business owners I have worked with, I have seen that along with good habits, each has developed routines for accomplishing necessary daily discipline. It is only way any one of us can predictably regulate our behavior. That is so true. To create profitable and effective routines, you must first decide what behaviors and habits you want to implement. So last we talked about choices. So you can look into that video, the previous video, and that's where choices and all is talked about, how to create choices, how to work on that beyond your days, bookend your days. So rise and shine. So here what author is talking about, bookend, that is give a good start, give a good end. So here he talks about his own routine, how he follows the routine. He gets up and does certain things, and then for a couple of hours he is just busy in doing things that is important to him, and writing out journal, writing out things that he wants to do today, writing on the goals, and focusing on the most important things. Half an hour of his the reading, and then after he starts going into other activities that he has to do throughout the day. And no matter how the day goes, at the end of the day he follows the same a routine that he follows every night, and where he puts up the whole day together, so that it works out in such a way that you have a good start, good end, and in between whatever happens you will manage it out, because you have very good start and very good end. And then shake it up. What he talks about, that if you follow something for long enough, then it can become boring. And at the same time, what happens when you are doing the same thing again and again? So let's say you are building a muscle and you are doing the same exercise again and again, it will not result, big mo will never kick in, because you are just focusing on one thing. So what he talks about, every so often I like to interrupt my routine, otherwise life gets stale and plateau. An easy example of working out with weight. So here he talks, right now I am working on adding more adventures into my life. I set weekly, monthly and yearly goals to do something I wouldn't normally do. So that's how he does it. That's why it's important to mix it up, challenge yourself in new ways and freshen up your experience. So in that way you figure out a way to add some more activities or more things that freshens up the overall routine. Getting into rhythm, finding your new groove. So here he talks about how important it is to getting into a rhythm. So where you have a rhythm, you get up in morning, you are like doing a exercise or doing a dance. You are listening to a music. So you are in a rhythm of doing things for next couple of hours. You are flowing through it without feeling a discomfort, and that's what you get into. And then how you do it, so here he talks about about a lot of examples from his own life, and then registering your rhythm. So here he talks about a weekly rhythm register, and how you define the different things that you want to do in your different things that you want to build on. So just like for example, in his example, 3 additional calls, 3 additional presentation, 30 minutes of cardio, weight training sessions, read 10 pages of a good book, listen to 30 minutes of instructional audio, 5 liters of water, eat healthy breakfast, dedicated time with kids, date night with his spouse, prayer, meditation time, daily journaling. So he is tracking out all these things every day, and then based on that he is evaluating where he is at end of the week, and that creates a rhythm that you are consciously making those decisions to check mark things. So here the rhythm of life, when people get started in a new endeavor, they almost always overdo it. Of course, I want you to feel excited about setting up a rhythm for success, but you need to find a program that you can absolutely positively do in long term without renegotiation. I don't want you thinking of rhythms you can do for this week, month, or even next 90 days. I want you to think about what you can do for rest of your life. The compound effect, the positive results you want to experience in your life will be the result of small choices and actions repeated consistently over time. You win when you take the right steps day in and day out, but you set yourself for failure by doing too much too soon. That's very important, that we try to start with few things. Do not club 15 things together, and then you lose the momentum after few days or after few weeks, because you are not getting the results in all the areas. And instead, start slow, start with few things, and then after keep adding things, and identify the values and identify the habits and behavior that you want to instill in you in long term, that you can carry out throughout life. And then he gives some more examples here. Power of consistency. I have mentioned that if there is one discipline that gives me competitive advantage, it's my ability to be consistent. Nothing kills big more quicker and with more certainty than a lack of consistency. Even good, passionate, and ambitious people with good intentions can fall short when it comes to consistency. But it's a powerful tool you can use to launch the flight towards your goal. Think of it like this: if you and I flew plane, so here he gives example of if two people flew by plane and one takes a stop, one does not, who will reach there so faster, who does not take the stop, even if he's stopping, even if he's flying slow. And then he gives example of water pump, how important it is to be consistent and not losing its not getting lose momentum before you get the result. Making the right choice, holding the right behavior, practicing perfect habits, staying consistent, and keeping your momentum is easier said than done, especially in the dynamic, constantly changing, and always challenging world we share with billions of other people. In the next chapter, we are going to talk about we'll discuss the many influences that mostly unknowingly can help and hinder your ability to succeed. These influences are pervasive, persuasive, and constant. Learn how to use them and or you might end up losing because of them. Let me show you how. So next chapter we are going to talk about influences. I'm pretty excited about reading about that and then sharing it with you. Please like and subscribe or leave your comments. I'm looking forward to those, and see you tomorrow.